The last time I said we were going to analyze everything, I kind of just focused more on the Hell A trailer and the Game Informer footage, but there's a lot of small little teasers that have come out since then that I think are worth talking about, so let's do it. One thing to make note of on this beach area is how wide open it is. Some people may point out how empty it is, because it is kind of empty, but it also is very, very open. So hopefully a lot of the other areas are open as well. The cleaver hit looks gross in a good way. Look at the tissue on the blade. Yeah, the way the tissue... Here, let's go back and look at the analysis of that. The way the cleaver hits the zombies, you can see like the skin flabbing onto the cleaver. We have another angle here showing the military quarantine zone from the side. Here we can see a grenader zombie, which can be found on the Dead Island 2 website. These dudes, if you shoot the grenade or hit them, you can probably blow them up in some way. So don't want to activate those grenades too closely. Another trailer that came out quite a long time ago is the Amazon trailer for Dead Island 2, which shows some cinematics at first. As you can see, it's kind of teasing the slobber. The thing that we see here, I believe, is a cinematic from the story, or it was specifically made for the trailer, but I think this is going to tie into the beginning of the game somehow, as we can see a wreck of here of some sort. These guys are the tanker zombies. Basically, if you shoot the tankers on their back, they'll probably blow up in some way. Although we haven't seen too much gameplay of these guys so far, but they are there. They are their own infected in the game. One thing that's interesting is you can see the reaction of the environments in many, many interesting ways. For example, when the character goes to attack the Shambler here, you can see the glass to the right shatter by impact. Which, the glass effects look very, very nice. You can see them laying on the ground there, stacking on top of each other. Gotta love my AAA glass mechanics, am I right? Like I said, they're going for the very arcadey effect. From what I've seen, every time you hit a zombie, it impacts the environment around. So here's another good example. When you hit the zombie here, the pillow is going to fall on the ground. I find it a little weird how the pillow just kind of sits up. Maybe not the most realistic thing there. And there you go. There shows the best example so far of how the weapon hitting on zombies actually flings zombies and the environment around. If there's one thing that I have to make a general observation of, those are some hideous couches. Alright, here's my doggo. She's now officially canon in the BackBoardFilms lore. It's a very gory room. Skip past that. We can see a collectible of some sort to the side there. You can see in this gameplay clip there's bandages. Right here. You guys can pick that up. So in the story mission in the top right, you can see a lot of the objectives and things we're going to be doing in this game. And one of them is going to be sending our blood off to a scientist. So one of the main overarching goals of this game is getting your blood, putting it into a blood drive, or retrieving the blood drive first. We don't really know the order of things yet. We kind of just know the long-term goal. And it's a lot like the first game, which is to get your blood to somebody that can help hopefully make a cure. One of the reasons why I think the idea of a theme park for Dead Island 2 DLC is kind of a little unnecessary and a little silly even is because they already have a theme park right here, which is the Butcher the Clown Park. So we have confirmation. It is called the Ocean Park on the pier, which looks a little destroyed walking into there. Interesting, interesting. What do you think of the weapon variety in comparison to the older games? As I just pointed out, there's a pistol here, and I think the weapon variety actually looks very, very nice. I think they have more guns already here than in the first game. So modifying the weapons, I think, is really going to switch things up, and I hope there's a lot of modifications to make there a lot of replayability. This weapon, this is a good example of the weapon modification that you can see when it comes to the guns. So you can see you can have like an electricity, like a stingray gun. It's pretty awesome. To me, the gate here looks kind of closed, so I'm kind of like concluding that you can't get into this, but I'm hoping. I'm holding out hope. In the magazine received from Dan Busser, did it say anything about night cycle? We have confirmation, ladies and gentlemen. Dead Island 2 locations feature both day and night variants, and places like Santa Monica Pier become especially terrifying at night. So, for example, you get the very vibrant downtown area. You can explore that day and night. Are you going to be able to see a day and night cycle? No. That, I think, is completely confirmed to not be in the game, and I'm glad we kind of got that out of the way. Here's an example of what things look like at night, and here's an example of what things look like in the day. So you kind of can see there's two very different variants for many of these locations, and there might be 2, 3, 4. There might be weather variants, like there might be a variant where it's day, foggy, and raining. So, you know, there's many possibilities, but I don't think we're gonna have like day and night systems like you would see in like games like Dying Light. If you look kind of deep into it and turn up the brightness, you can see a clown head. So this might be like Butcho's Clown Hive. This is the guy that many suspect to be Karen, returning from the first Dead Island and the beginning of Riptide, the antagonist of the Dead Island franchise, as some people put him. So we can see inside of one of the hotel areas, for those that want to see more, well, here you go. The area we're actually in is definitely interesting. We haven't seen this much. This kind of shows between what the buildings looks like in the downtown area. Yeah, you got like a downtown area like this, but one thing I have noticed is there's like the earthquake thing kind of going through the city. I think they're using the earthquake to break off the city into different districts. And the quarantine zones too, because you have all the big quarantine gates everywhere. Here kind of shows how the earthquake splits apart the map a little bit, so you can assume you won't be able to explore all the way into the distance, but you do have some stuff downtown to explore here. Right here, it definitely looks like an earthquake went through LA, and I'm not going to believe any other excuse, because what else could this be? This is how it's going to look in the inventory, for those that are wondering. You can kind of just see how many skill cards you can have there at once. So it's not an insane amount, but it's definitely a good amount to where you can really switch up your playstyle, and it's not like you have to go to a specific area to switch out your cards. So instead you can literally pause the game and switch out your cards whenever you want to. If there's one thing I can hope for the longevity of the skill card deck system coming to Dead Island 2, is don't make them paid. Do not make them cosmetics. If the cards are going to be stuck in like specific packs for the game, I think that's going to frustrate a lot of people. But yeah, we can see a few zombies here, and there's a couple of copy and pasted zombies. That's one issue I have with the game, is how many of the zombies are just doubled. For example, you have the same zombie here and here, same zombie here and here. And if that's the case, where there's not going to be tons of different variants, even though you can break down their zombies to skeletons, I think that's going to limit the immersion when it comes to feeling like you're in LA, you know? I think a lot of people do want that. We're on the Santa Monica Pier. This whole area looks cool. Do I think we'll be able to ride the roller coaster per se? I wish. We know one of the missions is about turning these machines on, but are we actually going to be able to ride in these things? Time will tell. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, the zombie's literally eating herself. That is one good example of a duplication zombie. The zombie here is just chowing down. This is one ability that's very interesting to me. You can use the back end of the weapon to kind of push zombies back. Yes, you could put mods on guns, as it is confirmed right here. I am glad we got some more gun gameplay, because it's been a little bit since we've gotten something. So yeah, they kind of like dodge to the side a little bit. We've seen that from runners before. And I think that's interesting that the zombies and the runners specifically would try to dodge your gunfire. Does it make sense that they have that type of humanity that they would? No, that's probably why the zombie's just doing it to dodge the electricity, or I don't know. I'm trying to make a reason for why the zombies jump into the side. But the main point is zombies will try to dodge your attacks, which is pretty cool. I like that these screamers are here, but we don't know exactly what they do. We don't know if they bring zombies to the player. We don't know if they just push back the player. We also see the screamer here, and one reason why I think zombies could come from the screamer's scream is because of this animation, which shows runners running at the player. So I'm excited to see that crazy, fun, campy tone kind of come back, as long as it's not like insanely ridiculous, you know, to the point where you can't take any of it seriously. I want to be able to care for the characters, be able to care for what's going on, and want to actually feel something for the player that I'm creating through my skill cards and through the story. We do know all the characters have their own backstories and so on, we just don't know to what extent those are actually explored within the story that we all have to play. If I had to guess, this is the studio of a director of some sort, or somebody that has some type of level in the film industry, some high up level, because we can see him some awards to the right there. I think we see a story moment of some sort right here, where you're kind of just busting through the door, throwing that zombie back. Not sure what type of scenario this could be, although it would be very cool if zombies can break down the doors like Dead Island 2 2015, and you could slam into the door, throwing them back. But the way the zombie flies back in this specific scenario does kind of make me think it's for story purposes, but hey, let me know your thoughts down below. Another cool area that we haven't seen much of is the stage area. Carla, whose skill card isn't loading in, also got revealed as well. Carla is a motorcycle stunt rider unfazed by rings of fire, jumps over ravines and mid-air flips, so the zompocalypse has barely made her break a sweat. Very cool. But the one thing that I wanted to show you here, besides the cosplay stuff, I guess if you wanted to cosplay as Carla, like any of the other characters you can, but this is actually new. I've seen some people call these animations kind of silly or unnecessary, or feel like they should be pointing their attention in the marketing department to something else, but honestly, I think they're kind of fun. I think it gives a good way to kind of care for each of the playable characters, and the website in general is very well sorted. And I think the animations are a very nice way to bring in a different audience, I feel like. I think it kind of fits in with the tone they're kind of going for, with the whole over-exaggerated Hollywood aesthetic. But I assume this is one of these safe hubs that you'll be able to find, and one of the beginning safe hubs, if I had to guess. Emma Jaunt is probably going to be one of the made-up celebrities for Dead Island 2, but I actually expect that we'll get some real celebrity cameos in the game as well. It makes sense with the game taking place in California, in Hollywood, in LA, which is one of the hotspots for celebrities to live in, that you'll likely get some celebrity cameos of some sort. I meant to point this out actually in a video, but I never did. You can see here, we see this guy in the reveal trailer. Why he's spectating, I don't know. Hopefully he's actually using that nice rifle of his up there, not just watching us slaughtering and hopefully not get slaughtered on our own. Here's another example of the hit animations being kind of weird. How when he goes to throw the hit attack on the zombie, it actually throws this zombie to the right here, not where it should go. Maybe this is the blast reaction from the electricity. I've thought about that as a possibility. But you can see just the blast and the blurriness here. It definitely should not fling the zombie to their left. At least that's what I think. Also, I've always kind of wondered if this is actually the main menu screen for Dead Island 2 when you first load in. But I kind of doubt it. Although, they did animate it though. The clouds actually move in the background too. Why would they animate clouds for a 2-second little teaser? Huh. You know what? The more I look at it, the more it is possible this could be the main menu screen for Dead Island 2. So, I don't know, man. Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious what you guys think. Oh, the dude's just chilling right there. Okay. Interesting. Not even zapped by the electricity. He's built different. Truly built different. I respect it. I respect it. Wouldn't want to leave my life around this guy. Truly built different. Look at him. He's just absorbing the electricity. He's living through it like it's a normal day in the apocalypse. Alright.